You know I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, entertainment, entrepreneurship, reality TV, and so much more. Nick Durst here, along with Joe Calabrese. And Joe, we are very excited for our guest here today. Peeling back the curtain here, I know you have never heard of him before until I said we're booking him on the show a month ago, but he's a very talented individual, and I'm sure we're in for a lot of laughs on this episode.
You
What?
never heard of him before, huh? I did.
I heard of him. I'm saying you never heard of him.
Oh,
I
I
booked
never
him.
heard
Of
of him.
course, I've heard of him.
Of course, of course. Well, for all those out there who still haven't heard of him, he co-hosts the Reality Court podcast, and he's a photographer, which is very interesting. But again, his primary background is in reality TV entertainment. He's highly entertaining from what you've told me. We're very happy to have him on. Hiccup first time around, but we're very excited for a second try over here. We welcome Ace Fanning to the show. Ace, as I mentioned before the
Oh,
show started, your audio sounds fantastic. It sounds crisp. You're ready to make fun of me for my accent. But first and foremost,
yeah.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing so good, and I do apologize for the hiccup that happened before, and then
Water
following
under the bridge. You need water in the desert out there
four or
anyway.
five more hiccups after of me being like, oh yeah, no, I literally I have diagnosed ADHD, and I can't be in charge of anything when it comes to scheduling or knowing what I'm supposed to be doing, and so I do
Yeah, you
apologize.
sound just like Joe. So two like-minded guys who are
That's
all into
right.
this. A lot going on.
Loud, well liked. But I really got to know. The Fanning, it's very obvious. What is it like being related to Dakota Fanning?
Oh my God, it's great. I love getting to see Dakota Fanning at all of our family events and everything and L and just the whole fam dam. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, my Fanning is trailer trash. I hail from the land of trailers. My dad grew up in the trailer. That's the lifestyle this Fanning side comes from.
Fair enough. So, Ace, you're a busy guy. You got a lot going on. You got the children, you got the photography business, you got the two podcasts, Sister Wives and Reality Court. So, what's that first app you're checking when you wake up in the morning on your phone?
Oh my God, you know what I'm checking first thing? Zillow. I I wish
Oh,
I
what
wish
a
that
great
I was
answer.
cooler. I
That's
wish
my
I was
favorite
cool.
answer of all
It,
the times niggas asked this question.
my favorite social media is Zillow, and I'm so mad
Yes.
because I like especially looking at things that are like somewhat possible for me. Like I do like looking at the really expensive ones too, but like if you look right now, my Zillow in my area, everything is pink because I've seen it all. I've seen everything. And it's just like every morning I get up hoping for a new red circle and I get let down. It's slow right now. The market is not good. And
Rough.
I'm not looking to even buy a house. I love to look.
Right. You love
Yeah.
to love it. Listen, I last year about the fall season, I obtained my real estate license here in New York. And, we did an interview before this, and the guy that we had on before this, he was kind of echoing your sentiment. It's just not really a great time at the moment.
No, and again, I'm not in real estate. I just am like, I don't know what it is. It's like nosy. I love getting to see people's houses. I love to get to see people's horrible design choices. And like when I get on a Zillow listing and it's like 80 plus pictures, that's like, no joke. That's basically like pulling up like some of your best porn you've ever seen in your life. Like, it's just like, this is going to be a good time. Thank God for this. Like, I'm so fulfilled right now.
Joining to add on the real estate market before we move on, Mr. Real Estate Agent.
Well, I mean, I totally kind of feel the same way, and the thing is, so I have an uncle who lives out in Jersey, right?
Mhm.
So when it comes to when I'm kind of navigating Zillow, I'm actually, combining like searching more or less here on Staten Island, and the Jersey side of things because, there's definitely a lot of crossover. Staten Island's a little bit more of the suburban area right around New York City. It's very, very obvious. And you look around at some beautiful things, right? And then you see a beautiful home and it's worth like 2 point something million dollars and it's been on the market for 8 or 9 months. And it's just, there's a reason why some of these homes are now being on the market for 6 months, 12 months,
Yeah.
upwards of 2 years. So, let's just hope and pray that the conditions change, especially when it comes to somebody like Nick, who lives in a really beautiful residential, upscale area of the southern end of Staten Island. And he's been there for a while. He can't really maneuver, right? Just based on the current conditions. So we hope those conditions change and improve. And, hopefully we got some more listings out there for you for tomorrow morning.
Ace might need another house. He's got another kid on the way, but a big family is nothing new to Ace. You grew up in a family of eight. You're the baby, the only
Yep.
boy. So what
Hmm.
was your childhood like? Is that why you always had to like try to put on a show, get some
Oh,
attention as the
so it's funny
youngest?
because I have five older sisters. I don't have any brothers or anything like that. And it's so frustrating because everyone's like, oh my God, I'm sure that you were just so adored and taken after. I'm like, guys, I was a cactus child. Like they barely gave me water and I thrived. Like I grew up think like TV raised me. TV and chat rooms when I was like 12 years old, lying about the fact that I'm like 18, talking to people. Like, I had a weird fucking childhood. I was doing weird stuff. So I was definitely attention deprived, which is why I am so obnoxious now. But it is, you know what? Like I couldn't imagine growing up in a small family. My family, there's always somebody mad at somebody. There's always someone fighting. And I like that. As long as it's not me fighting, then I'm down. I'm happy with that. But it's funny because I have five sisters and I'm the most sensitive. I'm the most dramatic. Like my sisters are all much more laid back than I am. And I'm the emotional one. Like I remember one time I asked my parents, I was like, which of the kids were the hardest to raise? And I'm like thinking, like, I have three sisters in mind that they're going to say. And they both very quickly were like, you. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you just were really emotional and we didn't know how to handle that. And I was like, gotcha. So that sucked. But it is true. Like I'm super fucking emotional.
Well, I guess that's why you became an individualist, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. So let's talk about being a type 4, right? Let's talk about numerology, astrology, spirituality. I need your birthday. I need your sign. I need the whole thing from you. And I also, if you have your time of birth, give that to me too. I'll do a full composite reading for
Full
you.
chart. I'm an Aries, and I hate that I'm an Aries. I'm the first day of Aries, which is like
That's the
it's
worst.
March 21st, and it's like I'm
Oh
like God,
man,
I read this stuff, and I'm like, ew, why is that me? Why
the
am I so
Western
awful?
the Western astrology turn at the March 20th, 21st turn
The Ides of
is very
March.
rough. It's very rough for certain people. That's an actual legitimate thing.
Joe, I was not expecting you to come in hot with the astrology
Oh,
information here.
that's Joe's
Well,
jam.
that's me. Oh yeah.
Oh wow, I like it.
Now
Yeah,
let me ask you a question. I'm an
yeah,
INFJ. Do you do the Myers-Briggs test too?
yeah. I'm an INFJ as well.
There you go. Nick,
Yeah.
what are you?
I have no idea.
God, Nick, get your shit
I,
together.
I think I think Nate might be like an ESTJ or something. I don't know.
Oh
What do you think?
wow, that sounds like
No, I have no. I'm just
order.
throwing shit out the window.
I
Yeah.
I growing up was an ENFJ, and as I've gotten older, I've become an INFJ. Yeah.
Well, we have a friend of ours, friend of the show, who's also very into the Myers-Briggs stuff. But so one last thing on the personality type, right? Did you kind of seek that out when you were younger? Because, obviously being the youngest of all the girls and being kind of a certain personality, you seek certain answers, right? Which is
Mhm.
why we get involved with this stuff. See, me personally, I'm one of one. My parents got it right the first time around, so they
Right.
need to,
Yeah.
right. So with you, it's a little bit different. Big family, youngest for me. But again, we both feel like we're in this little box, and you're like we're trying to get out of the box, and nobody understands us, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
No, I feel like personality, anytime that I can learn about myself, I'm so fulfilled. How awful, but it's so true. And it's just like, I love an Enneagram. I love astrology. I've talked to psychics and they tell me stuff and like,
Oh, I'm sorry, one last thing. What
yeah,
year are you born? What year are you born in specifically?
He doesn't want to tell you that.
1990. I'm
So
35.
you're born in the year of the horse.
Oh, I got a horse. Yeah. No, I
So
wish.
that, yeah, I mean, yeah. Um, no, this is very important too because a lot of people don't realize that Eastern and Western astrology are very intertwined.
Okay. So what is being born in the year of the horse?
Horses are, well, think of the characteristics of a horse.
I'm
Maybe,
terrified of horses.
well, maybe a little bit of tunnel vision at times. However,
Yeah.
horses tend to be some of the smartest signs, some of the hardest working signs. They are great endurance runners, right? So horses get tested a lot, especially when they're young. But if they have the makeup to power through it, there's no sign that you really comes out on the better, like the other side, stronger than horses, so to speak.
Oh, wow. I like that. I was growing up basically my entire childhood I was like suicidal. Like I hated life. I hated everything. And uh through time that got so much better. And then it really got better 2 years ago when I got medicated and I was like, "Oh my God, is this how normal people feel when they get out of bed every day?" But I think it's just because I'm a horse. I just
Horses are really, really, really tested. And the
see.
thing is, again, like a horse, right? If you're a horse and you're a jockey, sometimes horses get run into the ground, right? So it's just that they have to deal with a lot of stuff. My father was born in the year of the horse, and he's just been through a lot in his life too.
Yeah. Nick, what year are you born in? What's your animal?
We're 1992, so
We're
Jabbar
both 92, so we're both year of the monkey.
Oh, what's the monkey mean? Freaky?
Yeah, kind of.
likes bananas. I don't know.
Loves bananas. No, monkeys tend to be the most adaptable of all the 12 Eastern astrology signs, the most intelligent, some of the best communicators. They work best in packs as opposed to being solo dolos. But drawbacks are procrastination and laziness,
Oh,
like
That's
a
not,
monkey.
that's
yeah.
you. Not me.
No, Nick is actually a very hard worker. So,
Good job, Nick.
some really buck the trends, but I'm sure Nick's got certain habits that we can't see behind the scenes. I have certain habits that we can't see behind the scenes, but
Like what? I want to know what the habits are. Take me behind the scenes.
Joe loves to wear a vest and drink Monster with sunglasses on outside and a beanie hat.
With nothing underneath the vest?
no, none of that. None of that.
T-shirt.
I think the monster habit is really like everybody has one vice, like some people it's just smoking cigarettes and
Yeah.
whatnot. For me, it's just the energy drinks, the monster energy drinks.
You're gonna die.
That's right.
Like
You're naturally caffeinated, Joe. I mean,
Right.
you
But
just
I'm gonna die at 90. I have a lot of energy.
okay. I don't want you to be that person like you retire
Joe-
one day and
Joe,
then
I
you're
think
dead of a heart
if we
attack.
went to get like if you got a cut, you'd probably bleed out Monster and olive oil from your Italian genes.
That's pretty accurate, actually. I would think.
Yeah, no, I have my whole life is vices. I feel like I don't really have anything that's not a vice. I have a super addictive personality too, and so like I get on something and I can't get off.
Right.
Joe, you quite your
What?
tongue there about that.
I was like, I thought he was researching something. He was gonna come and he was gonna tell us.
Oh, okay. Never mind. No, I was.
He was. He was deep.
No,
enough. Kinda
my
got
apologies.
flustered
I
there.
was no. I was looking at
He's
the
looking up
next
your
question.
chart.
No. I was looking at your next question, Nick. That's why I paused.
Oh,
No, so we'll talk about Katelyn and your family, right? So you're a type 4, she's a type 9. Evidently, you've also had her, go through the test. But again, talk about how coming from a big family, contributed to the family life that you have now.
it's funny because like so my wife grew up in a family where like there is no drama. There's no ever
That's usually how it
fighting.
is.
There's no like if you say something that's what you mean and there's nothing more to it where like I grew up and like backhanded aggressiveness is everything. Passive aggressiveness is everything. So we struggled a ton in the beginning of our relationship because I would be like what? Okay, like that's like why are you fucking saying that? And it would just be something she would say, and she actually meant that, and it didn't mean anything deeper. And so we struggled a ton with that in the beginning, but we met each other when we were 14 and 15, and we were best friends for a long time before we started dating. And so we spend every single day together all day. So it's like, I don't know, like some people are like, I couldn't imagine working with my spouse like that. But I'm like, it's just what we've been doing forever. We've always lived like this. So it's second nature. But she comes from a small family. And so it's funny, like, here's a funny story for you. We just went on family vacation. The first week was with my family and the second week was with her family. And there was a whole debacle in my family text, which I'm not even part of the family text because I can't do it. So my wife is part of it, and then she tells me if I need to know anything. And there was a whole debacle about hamburgers and hot dogs on vacation and 4th of
Oh
July
boy.
and when we do it. And it became a whole thing. And like my father-in-law was over and he was hearing this. And like, he was like, well, no, she said this. I'm like, that's not what that means. That is not what that means. Like she says it's okay. It's not okay.
Mm.
So it's just, we grew up speaking two very different languages. And my wife, like, she's so fucking cool, like she's laid back. Nothing bothers her, where like everything bothers me. No one's ever said like, God, Ace is so cool and laid back. It's never the words to describe me. That's not what people are going to say in my obituary one day.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, Ace. A picture says 1,000 words. So how did you get into photography and how did you start your business?
Okay, so I got into photography because I've only had one job before. I worked in a chiropractor's office and I was the worst employee you could ever have. And I got my tax refund money and I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do with this. I've never had a tax refund. I've never had a job. I've never done anything. So I went and I bought a camera, and I have all these nieces and nephews. So I was like, I want to start taking pictures of them. And I start taking pictures of them, and then someone was like, hey, would you take pictures of my kid? And I was like, sure, I guess I'll try. They were terrible. The worst pictures you've ever seen. And for so long, I was so bad at it, but I just kept going. I just had some sort of confidence of like, look at me go. And then over time, I just got better and better. And then I started teaching photography, like workshops and stuff like that. And then eventually, like I got to a point though, like I got so burnt out on it that I set my camera down and I didn't touch it for at least 2 years. And then more recently, now with our kids, I am getting back into it and like wanting to photograph them. And that feels good, but I'm just like, I'm not ready to photograph anyone else's little shits yet. Like let me do mine and we'll go from there and see if anything happens. But I miss it to some extent, and to others, I'm just like, I don't. Like some days I'm like, oh, I would hate to have to go to a photo shoot right now and deal with people. It'd be awful.
Keep it to family first for your sanity.
Yeah.
Well, talk about, so you alluded to before, Desert Boy, right?
Yeah.
Living in Peoria, Arizona. So what do you really see the most? Coyotes, rattlesnakes, scorpions?
Hmm.
What wild being do you see the
Okay.
most?
So we live like in the suburbs, but they're kind of like a little bit out of town. And every night we hear coyotes. You hear them like doing some little song and dance every night. Rattlesnakes, you'll only see in the summer. And most of the time you see most of them run over in the road. But I've been hiking and I've seen them. And then scorpions year round all the time. They're everywhere. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I've gotten good at killing scorpions like that. I would rather
That's
kill a
cool.
scorpion though than a cockroach. I don't do a cockroach. No, I don't do a beetle. I don't do a cockroach, but I'll kill a scorpion, and
Yeah.
I feel fine with that.
Well, Joe, I know you've been to Arizona. You love the heat.
I love the desert heat. I love that.
Really?
I love that Vegas heat. I mean, I've only been to Scottsdale once,
Okay.
but we were there for a little bit of an extended bachelor weekend back a couple years ago during the Super Bowl.
What? Oh, so
And
it was like that. Hold on a second. You're smoking crack right now. Isn't the Super Bowl in like February?
yeah,
That's not the desert heat. Come right now. It is
it was like,
120 degrees. It
all
is.
right, so it was
Well,
only 100
yeah,
out.
but you were in Vegas, what, 3 weeks ago, Joe? So you got that desert.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was in the heat 110 in Vegas 3 weeks ago, a
Okay.
month ago.
I think
Yeah,
Arizona's worse,
That's
though.
similar then.
yeah, I was out in a tank top and I was like, yeah, the air's a little bit, but I was like, oh, I love this. And my cousin was looking at me like, are you fucking kidding me?
Were your
I
lips
just love
so
that heat.
dry though?
Yeah, I had the water, I had a water bottle on me and I was just not really gulping it. I was just sipping it, periodically as I was walking.
Yeah, no, it's so dry here. I think that I would look 10 years younger if I lived somewhere where there was moisture in the air. Like, I just feel like my skin has gotten so dried out being born and raised here that it's like I look old. Like, I'm only 18, and it's like I look 40. It's a very unfortunate situation for me.
Well, so if you want to get some moisture, maybe, and you want to get a different climate, but stay in the state, you can move to Flagstaff.
Oh,
Not even a good spot for you, where
oh
where
yeah.
the sister wives are. So Ace, how did you and when did you start watching Sister Wives? When did you and Katelyn launch the podcast? Sister Wives, love should be multiplied, not divided. And I think you guys maybe need to put some sort of disclosure for people driving their vehicles listening to the show because I almost crashed the car a few times listening to the podcast with my wife on some long drives.
Thank you. And that's such a compliment because I feel like men don't always get it. I've always been surrounded by women, and so I feel like women get my humor and stuff, but not always men. So to know that I made you laugh, that tickles my taint. But we were watching Sister Wives from the very beginning. Like day
Okay.
one, we watched this stupid show and we never missed an episode. And I can remember back in like the good old days, them living in Vegas,
Wow.
us going to the cul-de-sac and like wanting to see them. Like we've always been into it. And then I look back and I'm like, why were we? This is the dumbest show of all time. It really is the dumbest show you will ever watch in your entire life. Nothing ever happens. And then one day I was telling my wife, I'm like, God, like, I'm pretty sure this show is going to end. It's going to be over. And I'm like, I feel like this is the last season. I'm like, what if we did a recap podcast of it? And it's just like a fun thing. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. And I was like, okay, like, could you like give it more of a minute to think about? And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, then it comes out that right before the season starts, one of the wives announces that she's leaving Cody and they're getting divorced. And I was like, babe, like we have something, like something is actually happening on this show. We have sat here for 15 seasons watching them do nothing. And now something is happening. And she was like, okay, but I don't want anyone to hear it. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, no one's going to listen. No one will listen to this. And so we dropped our first episode and I sent it to some friends or whatever. And then I woke up the next day and it was like 25,000 plays. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. And so I was like, hey, some people listened. And I think we have to keep going because it seems like this is something that people are interested in. And so it just happened by accident, like I wanted it to be a podcast, but I didn't expect that anyone would actually give a shit, and give a shit they did.
So which sister wife is the most horny?
Okay, so Janelle is the one that like we all think that she's asexual, but she keeps coming and saying like, guys, I am not
Yeah.
asexual. Like I'm a horny woman.
Cody
Like
was a piece of meat to her.
yeah, Cody was just a piece of
Those
meat to her.
washboard abs.
Yeah, oh my God. Like apparently she's the horniest, but I would have guessed Christine was the horniest, especially now with
God,
her
so
new
disgusting.
husband, David. Like they're all over each other. It feels very National Geographic watching them. Like a fun story for you is that I used to have this podcast called Beyond the Secret, and I would interview people anonymously about their secrets. And this woman came on and she talked to me about her experience of going to sex clubs. And I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. I had no idea that these existed. So she told me about it. And I was just like so enthralled. She loved the chicken tenders. Like it was a whole thing. And one day my wife and I were going to Oregon and she writes to me and she's like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but the sex club we talked about is in Portland. And I was like, no way. And she's like, and the time that you're going to be here is newbie night. And I was like, come on. So I told my wife, I'm like, we have to go. And again, she's like, no, I don't want to do that. And I was like, please, like, it's the experience. We're not going to have sex, but we're going to get the experience of what's happening. And when we got there, like, like, I don't know about you, but like a fantasy is to like watch people have sex, like I'm just like, that's good for me. I'm a visual person, and when I got there and what I saw, it wasn't what I was thinking it was going to be. It was like watching two cows try and get over after they've been tipped on their side. It was awful. It was disgusting. And I was like, oh God. So that's how I like when I watch Christine and David, I am immediately taken back to the sex club. And it's just like disgusting. It's not what you think. And what was awful about it, and I'm so sorry, I know this is so disgusting, but it's just it's the truth, is like they at the sex club, they had like porn up on the TV and then they had the people down on the floor, and you're like, that's what I'm used to seeing. And then this is reality, and reality is not always better. No.
Well, speaking of disgusting,
Yes.
how repulsive do you find Tony to be? And how many tacos should they have ordered for his wedding with Mykelti?
Here's the thing. Tony's repulsive in so many different ways. Like there's the early seasons Tony where he's repulsive, like that he always smells like ass, that he drinks a ton of Mountain Dew. Like he's gross, that he's got skids in his shorts. Like it's disgusting. Well, now he's lost all this weight. He definitely lost it from Ozempic, but he says he didn't.
Yep.
And he's skinny, but he's like now he's gross in a like, ooh, I would never want you to drive my daughter home after she babysat for you. You know what I mean? Like that kind of gross. So he's very multifaceted in his grossness, which is not everyone can be that way. And I appreciate that from him.
Yeah, so what would you say is more disgusting from the show? Would it be Christine and David making out, groping each other, like you said, or all those home water births they showed?
Honestly, Christine and David making out. Like I would rather watch Mykelti push 10 kids out and have Tony standing over her sweating and and like run into the bathroom to take a dump than have to watch Christine and David make out again. It's so gross. It's like the worst thing in the whole world. It's uncomfortable.
How truly remarkable is watching Truly Brown on TV?
It is. You know what's so funny is like, I always say this about the Sister Wives. They have had a show for 19 seasons. Show me any show that has made it 19 seasons. Like it's very rare. Like Grey's Anatomy is 19 seasons. Like there's not a lot of shows. Obviously, I know Survivor's on like season 50 or whatever, but like to have that kind of longevity with the show is very impressive. And yet you meet these people and damn it, there is zero stardom there whatsoever. Like they have been completely unaffected by the stardom, and they're not even people next door. They're like the sad family down the street. And so truly it's funny because like she was born on television. She has not known a life that is not having her life filmed by reality TV crews. And she's still turned out to be the truly Grace Brown that we all know and love. We were all there when she was getting taught to ride a bike. And
Thank goodness for Mitch.
oh, thank God. That was a tough time watching Cody scream at her, and thank God she got her redemption tour. Thank God.
Tour de France. Seriously.
Christine says that she can now ride a bike, but I don't believe
They
her.
haven't shown anything with the bike. She literally truly dropped the bike and they dropped it from the show.
Yeah, and I'm like, get that on camera. They recently sent a survey out to people about things that they'd want to see on the show. And I was like, where's the storyline of like showing us that Truly can actually ride a bike? And Joe, like, have you ever seen Sister Wives? Have you ever watched an episode?
I've seen a few episodes. I'm not really. That's a little more of like Nick's thing as opposed to me. I'll watch other shows. Like, I like the Real Housewives stuff. I'll watch with my mom and all that kind of stuff. I know you do. Everybody does. I like over time I've gotten into that, but like the Sister Wives stuff and all those like raunchy type of shows.
90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance, and what was the other one?
So
The recent one.
you like more of an upper echelon show. Like I think
Yes, I
Real
need.
Housewives is upper echelon. You know, we
I
have
need. I'm okay with drama. It
yeah.
doesn't have to be totally classy,
Joe's
but
a
it
big
just.
Joe's big on the competition shows, like big.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But then like TLC is really when you get into the dumpster. Like that's where it's like, wow, this is the lowest of the low of reality. The only thing under that is like if they ended up on a show on like WeTV, that's I mean, that's the trash has already been taken out at that
See,
point. But like,
I would never watch Love Island either. Yeah,
oh yeah.
disgusting.
I
Bunch
would
of
love
bunch
Love
of
Island.
degenerate. I can't watch degeneracy.
Joe. No, I would love Love Island, but it's too much of a commitment.
It's every night, right?
It's every night for like
Oh, boy.
6 weeks. I don't have that kind of time. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know, I have other shows I have to get to. But the thing with like Sister Wives is truly riding a bike at 13 years old was an entire episode. Like
Yeah.
that's the storylines we're working with. Like you imagine these people doing storyboards for like different
A,
shows.
a family of 30.
30 people and we watch one girl and then by the end of it we
She
don't
doesn't get it
even ride
done.
the bike. We didn't see it. We never had liftoff. There was no end to that arc. The arc is still going and eventually we may come
Right.
back to it when she's 16.
They could have did a whole episode, a whole season on, getting the binky out of Binky Brown's mouth.
Yes, yeah,
But
like there's
eventually she dropped it. They didn't follow up on that.
do we even know if she dropped it or is that just in front of camera she dropped it? Honestly, like
You
it's
don't
all
know.
about, like she's a 6 foot 5-year-old and she
Right.
sucks the binky and it's just
Well,
it
the big problem is with all these, they drop these storylines, but the problem is that we don't have a real reunion anymore. I hate to sit down. Give me a real reunion. Let them go at it.
don't get me started.
I'm
Because
getting it started because
I-
why couldn't they have a reunion this year? I know they hate each other, but there's no COVID anymore. Get them
Right.
together. They were in Peoria, Arizona. You could have picked them all up and got them together.
I'm so irritated because I grew up, Real Housewives of Orange County premiered on my 16th birthday. So, like, my adulthood is defined by Real Housewives. Like, I grew up going to reunions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what a reunion is, and I know what a tell all is. And world of difference. Like, even just a regular tell all was nothing great, but these one
Robin's pleading the fifth like she's in a courtroom.
Oh, she has nothing to say, nothing to add. It's so incredibly frustrating. And it's like, if you guys would just sit all in one room together, because here's the thing, these are, don't know if people know this, but they're recorded over 2 different days because they say
gotta watch back what the other
and then they got to
person
react
says.
to what other people said on the next day. And it's like, you guys could save so much time by just bringing everyone in a room. Honestly, do a live feed of an hour of them just sitting there and you would have more views than what you're getting now because we want to see them interact with each other. And it's so frustrating. My wife and I, how do you say it? We camped out one time during a tell-all and we saw the way the process worked. And it was like, they took Cody, they brought him back, and then they took like Janelle, and they took Cody this way. So like they never
can't see
even
each
crossed
other.
paths. They never even crossed paths. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm very upset by that, and I wish that they've got a new production crew, and I really hope that
Well, it looks like we're getting little things a little more up to date, which is good. I was so annoyed. Last year we got Christine's wedding special. Then they re-air it during the season.
yes.
Like 8 months later. Oh, Christine's getting married. We saw this last year. They were going to rush that. Got to get stuff more up to date.
It's crazy, Joe. We watch this one sister wife get married, and then we go back to the show, like the regular season, and she's like just now leaving.
She just started dating the guy.
She hasn't even like met him yet. She's like, I talked to this guy, and I'm gonna go on my first date with him. Like, this is so stupid. Like these people have no idea what they're doing when it came to reality TV, and I think this new production crew has their finger on the pulse a little bit better.
Yeah, no more of that iPhone footage, please.
God, it was rough, Joe. Like again, coming from the world of Real Housewives, where it's like it's beautiful, it's upper
Polished.
Yes.
Right.
There's one thing that they could really do. I don't know if this could be worked out to elevate the show, and it's already part of the top rated show. They need to get Cody Brown on Traders. That would bring in what an audience. Knife in the kidney, the Traders. Big Ed could be there, Darcy and Stacy. I mean, they got to get the TLC people on.
Here's the problem, though. I think that Cody would come across really good on Traders. Like he would be nice, he would be friendly. He's very
His
charismatic.
Mormon background, right?
It's more like when
Get
we see
Robin
like
on there then.
yeah, oh God. She would get lost in the castle. She's such an idiot. She's so dumb. She really is.
She could sit out on the porch on the
Yeah.
castle.
And she would be like Sheree when she was on Traders, where she's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. You know, Sheree just somehow showed up week after week on Traders, and she didn't even know they were filming a show. Like she was on another planet.
Well, do you think? Because I think this is the case. I think the downfall of the Brown family was leaving Las Vegas. They had
Yeah.
everybody there in the cul-de-sac, Cody's little corner. Cody could just bing bong bang walk around the town. All the kids come outside. They had
Yeah.
their barbecues or whatever in Christine's backyard. And he's like, "We gotta get out of here because Dayton's going to school in Arizona. Let's move the whole family."
Yeah.
That was it. I thought he should have never left Las Vegas.
I absolutely agree with that. They should have never left Las Vegas because even if they were falling apart, think of how good the show would have been watching them fall apart in the cul-de-sac.
Oh yeah.
Instead, we had them miles away, spread out all over Flagstaff, which wasn't fair to the viewers. But I have a question for you, and this is kind of like a Sophie's Choice situation. And I always, it's like a sliding doors moment. Okay, do you believe that if Robin had joined the family and they did not start the show, that they would all still be together? Or do you think if they started the show and Robin never joined, that they would still be together?
I think if they started the show without Robin, they'd still be together, but they'd be struggling now without the money.
Wrong, wrong. If they started if the I blame the show number one. And almost I don't blame the show because these women never would have found their voice without the show, and then they
Right.
never would have felt like they could leave. And so I think the show gave these women, even though it took 18 seasons to do, gave them the like
Platform.
opportunity to be like, I can leave. Where I think had they had Robin join the family and there was no cameras on it, they all would have just been miserable for the rest of their lives and stayed together.
I think both could be true.
Okay.
I think the show caused the downfall for
Mhm.
sure. But I think if Robin joined, like, if there was no Robin and they just had the show, it would have lasted a season or two, and that would have been the show because
Okay.
there would have been no
It's not
story.
exciting. It's
Right,
boring.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
but I did mention it. What happened to Dayton? We haven't seen him on the show. I know he had his big eye surgery a few years ago.
Yeah.
Is
Dayton is still living with them. There's all these rumors that go around that he's basically like Bigfoot. They're like, there was a Dayton sighting in Yellowstone. And I'm like, no, he still lives with them. He just doesn't want to be on the show and he doesn't want to be on camera. And I don't know if people are stupid, but it's very easy to not be on camera. They don't film them every day of their life. They're like, hey, we're filming at this time
Right.
to this time.
And Robin says, "All right, we'll stay in the backyard. We're not coming."
Yeah, Dayton lives in he lived in an RV in their backyard, and now they bought this huge house, and it has like a guest house quarter. So I think he lives
You
there.
must love looking at that Zillow listing of the old
Oh,
house.
it's disgusting. There's so much tile everywhere. I hate tile. I'm very against tile. I like a wood floor.
What do you think David Jessup, Robin's ex, thinks of the show? Do you think he watches? Does he care about his children? Where's his stance?
I think that he definitely watches, and I think that he is so happy to see that everyone hates Robin and Cody. And so I think that like it's probably not. I know some people would be like, oh, that's probably hard for him to watch his kids. It's like, no, I think it's enough that like, wouldn't it feel good like if you went through a divorce and your wife stole your kids from you to watch your wife like all of America hate her?
Yeah.
That's all I would need to be better. You know, I wouldn't even need my medication.
Now, in your house, do
Yeah.
you say Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas?
We say MERI Christmas.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Yes. It's
So-
the Christmas card, everything
Murray
is.
Brown. So
Yeah.
when me and my wife were dating,
Yeah.
watching the show, I made her a custom Merry Christmas card.
That's
And it was just her face and it said Christmas. So Mary Brown's face and Christmas.
That's beautiful. What a
Shoe box.
talent. You know, you should honestly get a job for Hallmark, I feel like. I like that. I like the creativity of that.
What was it like meeting Mary, though? You got to meet her and spend some time with her.
Yeah. I attended the Worthy Up symposium. But you know, my thing is I don't want to be known by the sister wives.
Mhm.
So I laid low. I played cool. I acted like I was disinterested in the day. And so, but I will say this. I have flip-flopped on Mary Brown left, right, and center. Like I hate her, I love her. I hate her, I love her. And after meeting her in person, I'm like, ugh, I love her. Like she actually has a personality. She has energy, and then I'll watch her do an Instagram live and immediately I hate her again. But like in person, I was like, God, she's very charismatic, like you do get drawn to her, but it is her worthy up stuff is a crock of shit. But just her as a person I did enjoy it. Yeah.
What about buying Cody Brown's convertible?
Yeah. People, I think they will leave their kids certain memorabilia in their life. Like, oh, if I don't know, if someone was in the war and they got a Purple Heart, they're like, I want my kids to take this one day and memorialize me through this, or people's ashes. For me, it'll be leaving the Lexus behind to my children to let them know.
That's the one him and Robin drove for the honeymoon?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, the Lexus it's the car. It's honestly, when you watch Sister Wives, the first thing you see
Car.
is Cody in the Lexus. So it's like, how could I have not bought that? And I think everything works out for me all the time. And I put it out into the world that one day I wanted to own that car. And 2 years later, it's in my garage. And that's
You ever drive it or it just sits in there for sure?
I do drive it. The problem is the second I get in the car, like I immediately hate women. And so I'm like, I don't want to do it too much. I don't want to become like a male chauvinist or anything like that. So I try not to do it too much. But yeah, it runs and everything. I mean, I've had to put money into it because they did not take care of it all. When I got it, it didn't have brakes. I went to go get them fixed and the guy was like, there's no
a few
brakes.
hundred right there.
I was like, oh, you have to replace them? He's like, no, there is no brakes in the car. And I was like, that's probably why it was squeaking. Yeah. Like he's like, there's nothing. I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So, but it doesn't matter. I would spend my life savings making that car run because it is a relic. It honestly, the Smithsonian has called me 3 times being like, can we put this in here? And I'm like, not yet. I still need my time with it. Yeah.
If given the choice, would you rather go on a guys camping trip with Cody and David Woolley or a Lulu Row cruise with Mary, Christina, and Mykelti?
Oh, fuck. Here's the thing. I've never been camping before. I've never slept outside. And while I think that like a Brokeback Mountain could be fun for them, I'm gonna go with the LuLaRoe cruise. I feel better knowing I have a bed. I feel better knowing that like I have food at my dispense.
Yeah.
So
Great clothing.
Yeah, beautiful clothing. I have Mykelti there, which is tough, and I might want to jump overboard because of that. But for the most part, it's just it's a much more luxurious lifestyle being on a boat than camping.
Yeah, I'm hoping the next season we do get that guys trip between Dave and Cody.
So in the survey, they put out different scenes that I'm guessing they've already filmed. And one of them, they're like, would you be interested in seeing Cody and David go racing cars in a like a bonding experience? So I think they went and they raced cars at like some track or something. And so I'm like, anything with those two, I want to see it.
I mean,
absolutely.
If you remember, like Cody used to have some wild guys nights out in Vegas with like Janelle's trainer,
John
Huddleston,
Huddleston,
guns with, And
yep.
they go out. He's like, I'm not gonna have a drink. We're not gonna get too wild here, guys.
Yeah,
amazing times.
Oh God, that was the golden age of Sister Wives, where we had Sean Huddleston, and we actually last year, well, not last year, the year before, BravoCon. My wife and I hosted something we called BrownCon, and it was in Vegas, and we got a bunch of people together. We ate at this Mexican restaurant that they always ate at, and then we got on a party bus, and we went to different sites, like the cul-de-sac, and stuff like that. And then we got off at this park, and we did a workout with Sean Huddleston.
It's amazing.
And then he gave us some like info on the family, and he hates Cody, and it was fun. He's very into himself, unfortunately, but it was so much fun. And to find other weirdos who would find that to be fun is the best. Like, it's like, oh, we're not the only psychos,
Yeah, I mean, just like some of the storylines in Vegas, like with the sister wives closet, getting into the Paris hotel, but they didn't want to be in they didn't want to be in a casino, and they had remember the whole business pitch when they had to go to
With
the
the
boardroom.
sharks.
They're
Yeah.
awful.
Where Christine was like, we would love $5 million so we don't have to work so hard. And they were like,
And then
that
this past season they had Mary, or was it was it Janelle? She's like, Robert, we got to order for the because
oh yeah, no, it was married. She gets an
shut the
email
website
saying,
down.
yeah. Wow. Wow. It was good. That was good stuff.
You know they have a whole trailer uh,
Oh.
with all the inventory that they never sold.
When you look at Dayton's LinkedIn, it says like he worked for my sister wife's closet. Like that's his big job. So yeah.
That's unbelievable. So Sister Wives is great, but you love other reality TV shows as well. So how did it come to be that you were launching the Reality Court podcast?
So Anna kept writing to me on different forms. Like she wrote to me on Instagram. She would like write to me on Facebook. She sent an email. She left a review on iTunes. And I was just like, no, like I thought what she wanted was to come on our show. And I was like, we don't have guests. Like it's just the two of us. It'd be weird to have you on. And so I would never open her messages. I would never respond to them and stuff. And then finally I accidentally opened an Instagram message like, fuck, I can't like not read it or whatever. And that's where she laid out, because it was always like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk whatever. That's where she's like, hey, I want to do a podcast with you. And I was like, oh, but you don't want to come on my podcast. She's like, no, I want to do a new one with you. And so we started this podcast called Bravo Bench, and we started it with another guy, and he was so awful. He was just the most miserable person to talk to and be around. And I finally went to the network and I was like, hey, I'm out. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't talk. Like, I hate him and I don't want to be here. And then the network was like, well, what if we get rid of him and you stay? And I was like, perfect. So then we rebranded to Reality Court. It's just me, Anna, and then we have guests all the time. And it is so much fun because I really feel like I am living my dreams, getting to like actually talk to these D-list celebrities that I've watched on TV for years. It's a dream come true.
So social media has become a huge part of the whole reality TV thing. Influencers, influencer marketing, social media influencing, however you want to frame it. So, what are your thoughts on David Yontef?
You know, what a great guy. What a good time. You know, always has a sunny disposition. Always willing to, he's a team player for sure. And wow, just a great time. So glad we had our time to work with him. Yeah.
Behind the velvet rope. Now, Ace, I mean, how did you feel about him kind of taking advantage of the whole situation? Come on my Patreon, I'm going to spill the beans on what happened with the with the Bravo show.
I know. I was like, what is there to say? Like, they came to him and they said, hey, we just don't think this is working out anymore. And then he was like, actually, I don't want to do it. And it was like,
You can't
okay.
fire me, I quit.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, and they owe me money. And I was like, at this point, the show had barely started. Like the ad money was not much. And it was like, okay, here's your check for $30, you know, like good luck, have fun. And he made it into something so dramatic. And I was like, you're just, and again, that was like just added to all of it of like, you're just so annoying, you know?
All right. We'll
Yeah.
leave it at that. Tell us how you really feel. But on this show, you're talking a lot of Bravo. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite Bravo show? What's your favorite Real Housewives show?
Well, Real Housewives is my favorite Bravo show. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is my favorite Housewives.
We just did an interview with Seth Marks the other day.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
incredible.
Oh my
He
God,
was
it's
the best.
unbelievable. We might hang out with him tomorrow
Oh,
Real
wow.
fun.
at this recording.
I
Awesome.
I would lay my life down for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I love those women so much. They can do no wrong by me whatsoever. We interviewed Brittany Bateman, who
Oh, she's crazy.
I used to say like she's absolutely delusional. Now that we've interviewed her and we talked to her one-on-one, I would lay my life down for her. I love her. Oh my God. Salt Lake City can do no wrong in my eyes. You know,
Well, here's the thing with Salt Lake City.
yeah.
November 3rd, 2026. Jen Shaw is getting released from prison. Are
Oh,
they going to have her back on the show? I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
I think that what they will do is they will tease her kind of in a friend of role and see how America reacts. And if America's pissed about it,
Yeah.
they'll just be like, oh, well, we just had to close her story out and then we got rid of her. But if America's here for it, I think then the next season she would be full time again.
Ooh. Yeah, they'll probably put her on there. But unless the girls are like, we're not doing the show with Jen.
Oh, the biggest mistake housewives can make is saying, I'm not doing a show if someone else is on it. Then you get cut. Sorry, that's how the show works. You gotta work with people you don't want to work with.
All right.
How do you feel about our hometown Real Housewives in New Jersey?
I loved Jersey. There was a point where I would have laid my life down for Jersey,
So
and
good.
these past couple seasons, it
There's
just
only so many years in a row you could do the sit. Okay, we're going to Jersey Shore. The New Jersey Housewives haven't been on a real trip in about 8 years.
yeah,
We'll go to our house in New Jersey.
yeah,
Everyone else is going to Costa Rica. The Housewives of Salt Lake City are going to Greece next season coming out. It doesn't make any sense. But unfortunately, it looks like they're done because of the differences between the two families. But
yeah.
that made the show. I would have leaned into it more. Bring back Kathy, get Rosie in there.
I think what they made the mistake of trying to say I don't want to be a part of the drama, and I'm like, no, you needed to lean in. We actually needed the Gorgas and the Judices to move into a house together that they were renovating. That's what we needed, and they didn't do that, so it failed.
Yeah, and I think
A
the,
creative idea.
they had the whole issue with the ultimate girls trip the last season with the
Yeah.
drama, the legal stuff. So we got that's kind of like not going to happen anymore. But I was always saying that they should have done ultimate guys trip, and they could have went to Joe Giudice's house in the Bahamas, and they could have brought Joe Gorga and Louis, and it could have been just Mauricio could have been there. I mean, what a show that would be.
That
Yeah,
would have been a
the
good.
Real House Husbands of New Jersey. Duh.
Yeah. I think that would be a good time. You know, speaking of the ultimate girls trip Morocco, I have said, and anytime I have a mic in front of me, I want people to hear this because I want it to come true. You have to speak what you want into existence. If ever I am the recipient of Make a Wish, my Make a Wish would be that I get to watch Ultimate Girls Trip Morocco, and that's it. Like just bring it in a briefcase, set it up in front of me in my hospital bed. I will watch that and I will go peacefully.
That'd be good. So New Jersey, we'll see what they do there. I guess they're gonna try to reboot it New York style, but that doesn't really work too well either.
No,
Even
God,
the old
no.
New York though was I think it was time to end it, but the new one's not really working out too well. And I'm just so glad that they finally got rid of Dubai. I can't believe we even got a second season. That was brutal to watch.
How dare you?
You like Dubai?
I love Dubai. I
Well,
loved
the whole
it.
thing with Dubai is like the only reason they canceled it is because Dubai is not funding it anymore. And
Oh,
I was always wondering, how do they get in the budget to fly these people in from Dubai for Watch What Happens Live? Well, it turns out that Dubai's international tourism paid Bravo to do the show.
oh, I didn't know that. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm still the person who is like, people are like, listen, Real Housewives of Dallas is dead. No one was watching. And I was like, I was watching. Real
I gave
Housewives
it a
of
shot with
DC.
Dubai. I just couldn't. I watched the first season. I watched
Yeah.
the second episode of the second season. I was like, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. At that point, there was what, like 20 episodes. I was like, I think I had enough. I gave it a good
Oh,
shot. But I'm looking forward to Rhode Island.
oh, hell yeah. I didn't even know where Rhode Island was before, but now I'm here and I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm so excited.
We heard good things about Rhode Island through
Oh,
the
I'm
grapevine.
always surprised they didn't do a Chicago Housewives with and then bring and have Tinsley be the main star from the old New York days.
so I guess what was happening is Rhode Island, Chicago, and Seattle were all filming like sizzle reels at the same time
No one
and
Rhode Island.
and submitting them to Bravo, and they picked Rhode Island. Those other cities could
Interesting.
still happen. There was a point years ago where they filmed some of like a to be Real Housewives of Scottsdale, and it never took off, unfortunately, because I would have loved that.
Great. Well, give me some housewives you'd love to see return to their franchises.
You know what? Like I was so happy when I heard that we were getting Real Housewives of New York Legacy, this like the show, not just the one girls trip. I think if they brought that back, people like I know that our country's in a bad place right now, but that I think would heal people. Remember when they brought all those celebrities together to sing like
You are the world.
yes, we are the world, feed the children, whatever. That would be today's modern version of that, just bringing the OG New York gals together. I miss Real Housewives of Dallas, so like again, bring
Oh my
all of
goodness.
them back. Anna Kinkosis on Real Housewives of Miami, obviously. Can I tell you guys something about Real Housewives of Miami? Do you watch?
I don't watch that one as closely as the other ones, but
Okay, Nick
I,
or Joe, do you watch?
Joe does not. Joe's a big
So
Larsa Pippen fan.
what's up?
You're a
Do
big
you?
Larsa Pippen fan, right?
Yes. So I've seen episodes of Jersey, obviously. I've seen Salt Lake. I've seen
Okay.
Atlanta, and I've seen Orange County.
Okay, but not Miami.
Not Miami. No.
There's a woman on there named Kiki, and she's a friend of. She is this tall model. She's so fucking funny. No one on that show is really funny.
Yeah.
And why they don't make her full time pisses me off. I want them to bring back Real Housewives of DC too. Like that was great television. Like we had people sneak into the White House. Like why did we cancel because
I
of
guess
that?
maybe they figure that and Potomac are too close geographically now.
They're so different though when you watch them.
100%.
Like oh,
They got to
that was
bring Candace back to Potomac.
wow. I miss Candace. I definitely miss Candace. I miss Monique. Monique to me was the hottest, most beautiful housewife we've ever
I'm
had.
pretty sure I think I heard Monique's back this season.
She's coming back like in a friend of role,
Okay.
supposedly. We'll see.
Uh,
Yeah.
Put her in softly.
Yeah.
And then the
That's the
Grand
word.
Dame, we'll see when she gets out of jail what happens there.
I'm not gonna miss her.
No, she was at a certain point, you have to phase these people out when they're pushing 70. It's
Yeah.
just get them out of there. They're not, you need some younger people, some new blood.
Yeah. I was done with the Grand Dame.
Yeah. And Orange County, that you watched that since the beginning. So
Yes.
what do you feel about the status of that cast at this point?
Perfection. Do not touch it. Do not do anything. I'm happy with it. I mean, there's people like I hate Emily and I hate Gina. I hate Tamra, but like there's a difference between people I don't like and people that are good for television.
Yeah.
And that cast is perfect. Don't touch it.
Well,
Don't
that
touch Salt
season
Lake.
is airing now. We actually had the pleasure of going to Katie Janela's premiere party, which was in New York.
Tamara was supposed to be there.
Hammer no should. But Katie, we interviewed Katie.
Yeah.
She was very nice. I said, "You looking forward to this season?" She said, "Absolutely not." Some shit goes down with her this season. She said,
Wait, do you remember
she
what
thought
she
was
told
gonna
me?
be. Oh, if you want to tell Ace in a clean manner, you could go ahead. It's up to you.
She basically said that I should have fun with a lot of women around New York City.
Wow. I
She
would like
said
to know
that.
who
It was
actually
such a
said it.
compliment because she was like, "You're such a good-looking dude." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
God, you know what? I bet if I sat down with someone, they'd be like, God, you should never try to talk to anybody. Like you just don't have it. I am on Katie's team 100%. I do not understand how her saying that the babysitter said, the kids said, that Emily said, that Heather Dubrow's a bitch is even remotely close to talking about her custody, her time in a treatment center, like legal issues. They're not the same. And I think Emily is a monster for doing that. And I'm absolutely on Katie's side
Katie.
100%. And I'd lay my life down for Katie.
All right. Sounds good. I mean,
Yeah.
Katie was nice to us, so
She was awesome. She was so cool. Really. I mean,
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that because I think that she's incredible and I want her to stay around.
all right, time will tell what happens there. And Joe, maybe Katie and Ace meet up one day.
yeah, we
Well,
have to kind of broker a little bit of a deal there with a certain set of people.
well, and Joe, I don't know any women in New York, but I'll totally pimp you out. I'll whore you out. It's fine.
Why does everybody want to whore me out, man?
Ace is
All-
going to put
all-
on his Patreon.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The only three things that people want to do are feed me, give me alcohol, and whore me out.
You know what though? Like that's all compliments.
Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
understand that.
It's
Um,
all compliments, so you're good.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, uh, eventually, Nick and I will definitely be on your show, right?
Yes,
Uh, but in terms of favorite guests that you've had previously on your show, who stands out the most?
Brittany Bateman. I love that woman. I uh, I think that she's so incredible, and I
And
think that,
they were so mean to Brittany.
oh, so mean, and I think that
I was just sending a video to my
and
daughter.
after we did the interview with her, I was like, oh my God, she doesn't know how to use technology. She was so bad getting on the interview and stuff. Like I was like, that tracks. Like she didn't know what she was doing, but she's incredible. The interview with her, like I felt like you got to see a totally different side to her, and I love that woman.
Well, I think we'll see if she's back. I'm assuming she will be in some capacity.
Oh yeah, she's definitely going to be there. And I think people are going to be excited to see her again because we needed more Britney in our lives.
Has any housewife, cashed in, not saying on as far as like making their own brand, but as far as doing these brand deals and commercials more than Lisa Barlow with Wendy's? I mean, you cannot watch Bravo without a Lisa Barlow Wendy's commercial.
No, it's she absolutely knocked that out of the park. Like she killed it by getting Wendy's, and it's so obnoxious. I
Do you think Melissa Gorga should create a sprinkles commercial?
Well, she made her
Okay.
own
Well,
sprinkles
she's
cookies.
yeah. I mean, what is it? It's like an online type of ad, like a short reel, right? But it's not really like a true TV commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she should. I think that she should absolutely capitalize on that. I think all the housewives should capitalize on it. But then I also get annoyed when they capitalize on it too much. Like Dorinda feels like she
Oh.
invented clip. Okay, like it was funny in the moment. It was funny for a little bit after, but it's done. That's 10 years ago. We've moved on.
Yeah, what was it in New York? There's a whole thing with someone with the microwave oven or something. It was supposed to, was it
Sonia was going to do
Sonya's microwave oven, right, or
yeah,
something,
a
right? It never
toaster
happened. A
oven,
toaster
and it
oven.
never went anywhere. She did a photo shoot, they did the marketing, and that was it.
That's it. You watch
Yeah.
Summer House at all?
We watched Summer House last season because we heard that Lindsay and Carl were breaking up, and I was like, I want to watch that. Like I
Yeah.
love
I
stuff
gotta
like that.
tell you,
So,
like
We had Carl on for
we had
better
Carl
days.
on our show, like when they were engaged. He
yeah.
was such a genuinely nice guy. I feel bad for them, but I don't think either of them came out of this last season looking too bad. I think
No,
you could see both sides of the dispute.
I've told my wife like I would leave her for Carl. Like I feel like Carl's a good guy. I think he's nice. I think he's attractive. I think he's a good guy. I think he's just
A little cringy when he confessed his feelings to Sierra,
that
but
was tough. That was tough. But I just think that like him and Lindsay were a bad match. They never should have been together.
yeah,
So
that's for sure. So you have a lot going on in your life. You have work, you got the photography business, you have the family, you got the two podcasts. So how do you balance all this? And did your gymnastics background help you with that?
you know, I don't feel like I balance anything. I feel like every single day is just like I hope I make it through the day. And I do. Like today, talking to you guys right now, I this is my fourth thing I've recorded today, like
Wow.
and so it's good. And then tomorrow I have three things to record. Thursday we have three things to record. Like it's good and it's nice because I used to get in trouble for talking all the time. Like my family couldn't stand it, school couldn't stand it, and so now it's
Now
like,
it's work.
yeah, I
But
get to
good work.
talk.
Good work.
And yeah, it's the best. So I'm so grateful for getting to do this stuff that it never feels like it's work. It's always fun.
Amazing. So Ace, in your life or your career, what do you think has been your you know I'm right moment? What I mean by that, it's a time or place where you wanted to pursue something. You asked somebody for advice. They said, Ace, awful idea. Don't even try it. You're going to fail. And you were like, you know what? I'm going to try it anyway. And in the end, you will see why it is that I'm right about this. And I can tell you, I told you so.
When I was doing photography, it was like my first year, and I went to freaking H&R Block to get my taxes done. And I had no idea what I was doing. Like I'm a terrible business person. Oh, okay, sorry. I have to go to baby swim. But he told me, he was like, you'll never make any money doing photography. Like this is not a business that you can do. And that year, like I made six figures doing photography. So it was like I did, and no thanks to you. So that's that.
Well, Ace, I appreciate you and Nick catching me up on everything that I have not watched with Sister Wives. That was
Welcome.
excellent. But please, sometime soon, we would love to come on your show.
Yes.
Uh, we would love that. We're going to let you go. Obviously, you got your family to attend to. We thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Thanks for scheduling this again. After the first time around, all is forgiven. What we do here is we always give our guests the last word. So if there's anything else you would like to share or promote for yourself before you leave, by all means, go ahead. Where can we find you? And
I would
once
just
again,
say
appreciate you.
if you look for our podcast, Sister Wives, Love Should Be Multiplied, Not Divided, don't go if you're easily offended. It's disgusting. We say the most horrible things. It's low hanging fruit. It's disgusting. It's trashy. That's the best way I can explain it. So don't go to it if you're any of that. So thank you guys though so much. I appreciate it, and this has been awesome.
All right, that's gonna do it here for this episode of You Know I'm Right. Check out Ace and his two podcasts, and he's on Herd at with the Bravo show.
That's right.
So
Thank you
right
guys.
with this, so
Family.
family
We're in the
affair
family.
here.
That's
That's
right.
gonna do it here for this episode of You Know I'm Right. For our very special guest, Ace Fanning, my co-host Joe Calabrese. I'm Nick Durst, and this has been You Know I'm Right.